fighting at the UN to end the bloodshed on the ground. Georgia has called for the intervention of the Security Council to protect it from what it calls aggression from Russia.
Russian ground troops, armed invasion, transformed already in a full-scale occupations of parts of Georgian territory.
Both Georgia and the United States accused Russia of wanting Georgian regime change. Russia had its response.
Regime change is an American expression. We don't use such terminology.
The U.S. attempted some pressure.
I urge the Russian Federation to carefully consider the implications of this aggression against the sovereign and democratic state of Georgia. Russia's relations with the United States and others in the international community will be affected by its continued assault on Georgia.
Russia was the first to initiate an urgent meeting when bloodshed in South Ossetia climaxed.
The Russian Federation on many occasions drew attention to the fact that Georgia was increasing its offensive weapons. Georgia is a world record holder in the increase of its military budget, which over the recent years grew by 30 times. Now we understand what the purpose was.
The Russian ambassador says this time consultations were initiated by Georgia and the U.S. jointly and to no surprise. According to the Russian side, Georgia has at least 127 U.S. military advisors working in its defense ministry and says it hopes that rumors that the U.S. gave the green light to Georgia to embark on a military venture are not true. Russia says there are no legal terms to describe the actions of Georgia's leadership.
Should we describe it as genocide? Now, when out of 120,000 population, over 2,000 die, is this genocide or is it not? How many civilians must die before we describe it as genocide?
Georgia, the U.S. and some other states called for an immediate ceasefire. Russia says a ceasefire is simply not possible while Georgian troops are still on South Ossetian territory. For a solution to be found, Tbilisi must stop playing games and agree to specific step-by-step action. The U.S. is now expected to propose a draft resolution calling for a ceasefire, but Russia has made it clear what it wants first is the withdrawal of Georgian troops and an agreement on the non-use of force. For now, an end to the diplomatic battle is not yet in sight. The Security Council will reconvene on Monday. Anastasia Churkina, RT, New York.